Before we jump into this, I want you guys to know that this is coming from a place of love, not hate for baseball. I love the sport, but in the future, not necessarily right now, I know baseball numbers is still a crazy industry. In the future, I'm really worried about it. And I want you guys to hear me out. I'm a millennial. Okay, you might be a millennial. You're younger than me. If there's one thing about our generation, and I'm just going to start with one of my main points and then kind of work throughout this video. If there's one thing about our generation, is we want things now. We really do. You can't deny streaming. We don't even have time. We don't want to sit and watch TV anymore because there's commercials. We want to stream things. We don't want to like wait and save up for a long time to buy a nice car. We want to take out a loan and have that nice car. We're not patient people. Millennials, like some people worry about us. I think we're absolutely amazing. I think we're going to change the world. I think there's so many great things about us, but we're definitely not known for being patient people. Now, jumping back to baseball on that argument, if you think of baseball in like just kind of the simple sense of what it is the only, like, it's insane how much time, if you were going to watch every single ball game for an entire season, commit to a team, which people do, and I want to get into some other reasons in terms of like fashion, certain things later in the video. I'm starting with this. If you wanted to watch everything, that's 165 games. Baseball is the longest games of any sport, except probably cricket. Cricket might be longer. I have no idea. I'm sure those games go like 27 days. Don't know how those people stay through the whole thing, but it is what it is. Let me just continue. 165 games, you got 3.5 hours. A lot of teams at this point in the season, like the Jays, they're out of it right now. I don't have time to sit and watch a 3-hour ball game. I really don't. I don't have time to sit in front of my TV and watch 3 hours. That's why the Blue Jays in 30 in Canada is so popular. Now, this is why I'm worried, because we're not patient people. We like excitement. We want the newest and best and brightest things. And baseball is kind of, in a sense, it's a very traditional game. A lot of the top people who make the decisions about baseball, who love baseball, are very statistical, analytical people who see the game for the beauty that it is. They love the 9 innings. They love the patience. I love going to a baseball game just as much as anyone. I love the atmosphere. But when I think about it, it's not necessarily, if I'm a young kid and I'm choosing a sport right now, and I'm looking, like, let's say there's a picture and someone wants to give me a PowerPoint presentation. Let's say I'm 7 years old. Put your guys' like self in this situation. 7 years old, someone gives you a PowerPoint presentation of everything that's happening in sports, and they tell you everything about them, and there's basketball, football, and baseball. I'm probably at this point choosing basketball. The argument for baseball and people saying, well, it's traditional, 9 innings, 3.5 hour games, not a lot of superstars, not a lot of big trades go on, I'm probably not going to be as interested. Now, I want to jump into the other reasons. My first reason, pretty simple, just to kind of sum it up for you guys. I think millennials just aren't as interested in patience. I think baseball is a patience game. I think it's a beautiful, beautiful game. I just don't think we're as interested. And I don't know if the MLB is doing enough to get younger people interested. I think that's where my next point comes in. One of the main times, and I've loved baseball my whole life, where I really worried about the game was, in my opinion, the greatest inning in baseball history when Jose Bautista hit the home run, me being a Blue Jays fan, the bat flip that just stumped the nation. Okay? That is a moment that baseball should be looking at, and baseball fans, no matter what team, you should be thinking like, this is amazing. People were super interested in baseball in that moment. A guy showing emotion, a guy showing how excited he was, which happens in every other sport. Football, there's touchdown celebrations. The dab became famous because of that. Basketball, guys are allowed to get animated, are allowed to get pumped up, are allowed to trash talk all throughout the game. But a baseball player decides to show that he's pumped up about a huge home run and throw his bat, and the internet loses their minds, and all these old baseball people are just saying this is terrible for the game. No, you know what's terrible for the game? Is no one showing any emotion. Someone hitting a home run and just running and acting like they don't care in a big situation like that. That, to me, is terrible for the game. Another great example of this is D. Gordon. When D. Gordon decided to swag up his outfit by wearing a backwards hat, a lot of people, he received so much pushback for that. And I understand why, because there's so many people who are so focused on baseball being like it was in the old days. You have to wear your hat a certain way. Well, let me tell you, the world has changed. If we treated every single thing like we did when it first started, if we never adapted as a society, so many things would be so messed up right now. Part of living is adapting to the circumstances. D. Gordon doing that added swagger. There's kids who are going to their baseball games who might not have, like, I don't know, or kids who may have not thought playing baseball was cool, who are now like, oh, baseball is cool. You can go out there, you can look sick. Part of that, and to have people be so upset about that, to me, is really, really messed up. Now, the last thing I want to talk about, and the last reason I think baseball struggles, is because it's such a non-superstar league. There's not a lot of players in, like, professional baseball. Like, there's a few on, like, select teams that I would legit spend money to go out and watch. In basketball, and it's mostly because of this. And this is, I think, the thing that really separates me. It's not, you only have those 4 at-bats a game. You're not constantly in the action like you are in basketball. I'm not trying to directly compare it, but I think of me when I was in Anaheim watching the Blue Jays. When a team has a superstar, when a team has someone who is really, really sticks out, that sells tickets. There was 33,000 people at every single one of those games. Angels aren't a great team. And for every time Mike Trout breathed, Mike Trout smiled, that stadium got lit. Every single jersey was Mike Trout. And it really got me thinking, MLB needs more superstars. It needs more Mike Trouts. It needs more Aaron Judges. Aaron Judge being the big, powerful guy that is. That makes people want to play baseball. It makes baseball cool. People aren't focused on making baseball cool like basketball is. Basketball is so progressive and so smart. It's insane. And that is why basketball is just constantly growing. Football, I think, also is just like, football kind of has the same thing. They're dealing with different issues with like CTE and stuff. But overall, I'm going to give my solution. And this is going to be wildly unpopular with certain people. And you're going to say, TD, this is ridiculous. Baseball needs less games and shorter innings. I said it. It's going to cost probably some revenue because less games. I can understand why that might not be doable. And maybe that's not like, but I definitely think baseball games need to be shorter. It needs to be where I can sit for 1.5 to 2 hours and watch a full baseball game, because I think, and I know the history nuts are going to push back and say that's ridiculous. It's always been 9 innings, and I get that. But there's a thing called growing and adapting to the way the world is going. My generation, we don't wait for anything. We are here and we're coming, and we do not like to sit around and wait. We do not have the patience for 3.5 hours. That's why the Miami Marlins right now are getting 10,000 people a game. Less than most hockey games, is because people just simply aren't interested. I don't know what you guys think about this. Let me know in the comment section below. These are, to me, the main problems with baseball that are kind of preventing it from taking that next leap just in general. I hope you guys enjoyed. God bless you. I know this video might make some people like upset at me. I know you might not look at me the same way. Obviously, baseball has been so huge for me in my life. I am just looking at this as like, there's certain things the MLB needs to do. They need to give players more freedom to have their own expression. What sells tickets is the interviews. Richard Sherman freaking out, calling out cornerbacks. That sells tickets. That makes fans. You need more rivalries in baseball. People trash talking. Now, like, I don't know, man. It just needs that little bit more of an excitement to take my generation of people who just aren't interested in waiting, who want things now, who want instant excitement, who want big trades, big moves, and just constant, and just make us and loop us in. So God bless you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you all next time.